Well, this came a bit sooner than I expected. What's good, my fellow masters? The official announcement for the the Pilgrimage Festival Part 1 campaign has come out. So here is a rundown on what we can expect with this game feature update, and of course all of the goodies, including SQ, we can look forward to. This Part 1 of the Pilgrimage Festival is slated to start on March 20th at server refresh and run until April 3rd, though a portion of the campaign does last well into mid-April. More on that in a bit. I've spoken about the main feature behind the Pilgrimage Festival in previous videos, but essentially they will be a series of campaigns that mark the permanent addition of past event welfare servants to a new section of the Da Vinci shop. Each festival will correspond to a specific batch of welfare servants. And to kick things off, the 3 welfare servants in this first batch includes Sakara Kintoki Rider, Shuten Doji Caster, and Ruler Quetzalcoatl Samba Santa. And there will be future pilgrimage festivals with different batches of welfare servants we can look forward to. 5 more festivals for just this year alone. So first off, a new resource item will be introduced called a Leaf of Evocation. This first campaign will provide a few ways to accumulate them, both limited time and permanent, which I'll go into more detail later. These Leaves of Evocation will be needed to exchange for any unacquired past event welfare servants, which will be located in a new section of the Da Vinci shop as mentioned earlier. You can select the servant you wish to acquire at the cost of 200 Leaves of Evocation. Notice the MP copies of the servant are locked, but just for the moment. Claim your new welfare servant from your present box and enjoy their intro. Then, when you go back to the exchange, the servant's ascension items and additional MP copies will be available. 200 leaves is needed for the 4 ascension items, and 800 leaves for the 4 MP copies. 480 of the welfare servant's coins will also be available, but to get them all, it will cost a hefty 2,400 Leaves of Evocation, so maybe just exchange what you need a little bit at a time, as we're all just starting to accumulate these leaves. Claim the NP copies from the present box, and the ascension items will be added directly to your item inventory. So the total cost of evocation leaves for one servant at NP5 with all of their ascension items comes to 1,200. Add in all of their servant coins and it will cost a combined total of 3,600 leaves. If you already have these welfare versions of Kintoki, Shuten, or Quetz, you will still be able to exchange for additional copies, but please note that obtaining a 6th copy onwards will not result in a rare prism. Not like in the past during the event reruns with these welfare servants, unfortunately. As shown in my example, the same items and numbers related to Kintoki, Shuten, and Quetz will be added to the Leaves of Evocation exchange section at the start of the campaign. And I'd just like to emphasize, this will be a permanent addition. Even after the campaign has concluded, these servants and their items will still be available. Now, let's look at the special login bonus for this Pilgrimage Festival, which will reward us with lots of Leaves of Evocation, and perhaps more importantly, a good amount of Saint Quartz. It will be a pretty long duration login bonus, and the first 6 logins will provide mostly 30 Leaves of Evocation, with the exception being on March 22nd with 100 leaves. Then on the 26th, the login bonus is 50 leaves and 6 quartz. The login reward pattern repeats from March 27th, and on April 2nd, we gain another 6 SQ. Another cycle from April 3rd to the 9th where the SQ reward will increase to 9. Then the final cycle goes from April 10th to April 16th and ends with another 9 quartz. The combined total of rewards comes to 1,200 Leaves of Evocation and a nice 30 Saint Quartz to add to our savings. But there is more SQ to be gained from this campaign with some limited time master missions. There are 6 missions, all relatively easy to accomplish. Clear any Ember Gathering quests 3 times and then 3 more times, totaling 6. Complete free quests on the main story map 3 times. Level up either Rider Kintoki, Caster Shuten, or Ruler Quetz to 10, and then level them to 40. Oh, and if you already have any of them all leveled up, then the missions will be auto-completed. Complete all of the missions, and the combined rewards will be 100 Leaves of Evocation, 30 more Saint Quartz, love it, plus a Holy Grail. Next up will be the permanent extra master missions added to the game in order to provide a large stock of Leaves of Evocation. a total of 4,500 of them when all of them are complete. Basically, you will gain 500 leaves for every singularity completed in the main story arc Part 1. And of course, if you have already finished Part 1 of the main story, then all of these missions will be automatically completed. And then there will be an update to the daily mission rewards. Once any 3 quests have been completed, then in addition to the mana prisms and monthly exchange tickets we have come to expect, we will also now receive 30 leaves of evocation. Of course, there will be some campaign features to make things a bit easier to level up the featured welfare servants of this pilgrimage festival. For the duration of the campaign, Rider Kentoki, Caster Shuten, and Ruler Ketz will gain double the EXP during enhancements. Furthermore, there will be double the chance for super and great success during enhancements for all servants during this period. And QP costs for servant enhancements will even be reduced by half at the same time. To cover off those that may be short on EXP cards for their newly acquired Rider Kentoki or Caster Shuten, the Rider/Saber and Caster/Archer Ember Gathering quests during the campaign period will be just at half the AP cost, and they will be unlocked every day for convenience. Then for a bit of help on any and all quests, our featured welfare servants will get a damage bonus of 50%, and this bonus will last all the way until May 8th. So this can be taken advantage of during the next event as well, if I'm not misunderstanding. Lastly, Samba Saint Quartz has a couple of simple Sparetron dresses, and their wardrobe keys will be permanently added to the dressmaking section of the Da Vinci shop, though only if you have not already obtained them from her original event. Each wardrobe key will cost 500 mana prisms to obtain. Now, if you happen to be a relatively new master, or at least started playing after the chances to obtain these 3 welfare servants had passed, then as a brief summary, I think all of them can be quite useful, especially for those with smaller rosters. However, I think the general consensus among the veteran masters of the early days is that Rider Kentoki is one of the best welfare servants out there. He's a single target quick unit and quite potent since he'll be at MP5. To that end, he's got some good buffs for his quick cards with a 3-turn boost of 30% through his skill 1, plus he can gain another 10 to 90% for 1 turn through his MP overcharge. Kentoki also has a 3-turn buff to his star generation, which should help provide him with tons of stars after his MP to use for follow-up crit attacks. And to top things off, he has a 50% NP battery. Not too shabby for a welfare servant. For Caster Shuten, she can be quite powerful for a free single target unit. At MP5, her Buster NP will outdamage the SSR ST casters in the game if they are only at NP1. Shuten has some utility with a 20% party-wide attack buff. Notably, she has a significant 3-turn damage increase against demonic enemies tied to that attack buff. And her NP conveniently has a built-in ignore evasion effect that activates first. She does lack an NP battery of some sort, but does have a triple arts deck to somewhat offset that. Then we have Saint Quartz, who only had 1 event with no rerun long before the shift in event rerun policy. But at least for now, everyone will have the opportunity to get her with this pilgrimage festival. This luchadora is an AoE buster ruler with some decent party utility. She can buff everyone's attack for a few turns, supply up to 10 stars per turn during that time, increase an ally's crit star absorption for a turn, along with a moderate boost to their star generation, and even buff the party's crit damage through her NP's overcharge. Of course, since all of them will be permanently available, the question is only in which order to get them from the exchange. You will eventually have enough leaves for all of them, but perhaps prioritize the one that addresses your most pressing need. Each will cost 1200 leaves of evocation, not counting their servant coins, and with all of the eventual campaign rewards, plus extra missions related to clearing part 1 of the main story, you should have 5,800 leaves, more than enough to exchange for all 3 servants at MP5, with enough left over to unlock each of their second pens. It will just take a bit of time to accumulate the necessary evocation leaves. Naturally, their original SSR versions will be on rate up on the related campaign pickup summon, plus a few bonus SRs along for the ride. But with the Lilim Harlot event so close, Bad timing doesn't even begin to describe this particular banner, but I may do an overview of the pickup summon in another video. So, lots of SQ inbound, plus 3 welfare servants for those who don't have them. All in all, a very fruitful campaign. Personally, I don't have Rider Kentucky, and I'm pretty hyped to finally able to add him to my Chaldea. Are you missing one or more of these welfare servants? Or are you just looking forward to getting access to more of their servant coins? Let me know in the comments. And please hit that like button for more FGO content like this. Many thanks for watching, and until the next one, cheers!